Welcome, and we are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Married Guide to Gaming. I am Ed Towney, and with me as always is my beautiful wife, Two Gun Rosebud. And on tonight's episode, we are going to be playing some Borderlands 2, and as a special request, we're going to be talking about long-distance relationships. Specifically, long-distance relationships as they happen in the military.
This is a subject we're both very familiar with,
It is indeed.
being as you were in the Marine Corps when we started dating.
I was indeed, wasn't I?
All those fucking years ago.
Oh, I'm full.
Maybe you should, well, why don't we sell some crap first?
Yeah.
10 years ago. We've been married for 10 years.
Holy shit.
Dude, right?
It's always wild to remember.
Right?
Because it...
When did you join the Marine Corps? Would you like to tell everybody?
Nah, we don't need to.
Okay. Why? Because most
Because
people
it was 2007
were
and you were probably in elementary school.
Yeah. I've got tattoos older than you.
I don't want to play that game either.
Ah.
So, yeah, no, I did join the Marines when I was 18. I went to boot camp in August of 2007.
Mm-hmm.
We started dating... What,
2008?
November of 2000 and...
I think it was 2008.
It
Yeah.
was 2008 because that was right
I broke up from an
before-
engagement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the events leading to section. Yeah. I was in a bad relationship, and
I
then,
won.
we kind of reconnected, and so that happened.
Which, it did make things a little bit easier because...
We did know each other.
Yeah, we didn't
We'd
have-
known each other for a long time. At one point, his parents were my godparents.
Yeah. So it's,
So, like, what happened was we had known each other when we were really little kids. And then my family moved away. My dad got a job in a different city. And we didn't see them until after he died. So we got like reconnected at like 15.
yeah, just about. We're
Yeah.
teenagers, solidly teenagers.
Yeah. So,
Hormonal teenagers,
as you do.
as we both often do.
So, yeah, we were kind of just friends through that. You can pick up your Gwen said.
There.
So, we were sort of friends through that period.
Just shut up and get in the car.
You got it.
There.
So,
It's just, hearing this story always
I
just
know.
brings a smile to my face. I'm a hopeless romantic, so this is all very pretty to me. In that,
well, then it worked out.
it did, for
Yeah.
sure. We had, kind of not dated, not dated, really.
Yeah,
We had a bit of a summer fling
right.
when we were 17 or so,
As you do.
as you do. And, after that,
We stopped talking. We spent a year not talking.
Yeah. And
I got
that-
engaged. You joined the Marine Corps. Yeah.
It kind of was like, it's over.
Oh, fucker, I just threw a grenade. I'm so sorry I did this.
God, you are a mess tonight.
I dropped my controller.
So we had spent a lot of time apart,
Yeah.
and then we kind of reconnected again when my brother got back from one of his deployments to Iraq.
Yeah.
We had a big party. You were there. I was there. We ended up under a table watching Futurama on an iPod.
Yeah, because that's how long ago that was.
Yeah, an iPod with its screen and the little swirly clicky button. You
Yeah.
should be lucky, grateful for what you've got. You damn kids and your
That's
technology.
the oldest thing you've ever said.
Probably yet. That's the oldest
Good
thing I've
you've
said yet.
Today.
Today. It's about to get worse.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
we're also going to talk about how we made it work.
Yeah, so I went out and visited for the Marine Corps Ball in November. And so that's when we officially started dating.
It was cute because I just kind of introduced her as...
He had no idea how he was going to, like, kind of say, are you my girlfriend? Will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah, I was 19. You were 20.
No, we were both 20.
No, the ball's in November.
Oh, that's right. It's right, like 2 weeks before your birthday.
Yeah, it was right before my birthday.
You're just a baby.
Nice.
Our birthdays are 8 weeks apart.
Old lady. Now, so yeah, she was 20. I was 19.
Oh, I knew.
And, what do I go up to her? Like, do you want to go out with me? You flew out to fucking Mississippi to come to the ball with me.
I sure
think
did.
you want to go out with me. So
Something like that.
so- now, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you do when you fly out to see someone in the military. To play Uno.
Play Uno.
Oh, Jesus, why would you stand on it when you did that?
I don't give a shit. So,
So I didn't ask her out. I just kind of.
I was your date to the ball.
You were my date to the ball. We got pretty, and then I introduced you to like my staff sergeant and stuff as my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you just kind of went, "Oh, so I'm your girlfriend now?" And I said,
Yes.
yes. Best of all, you'll go out with me." And the rest is history, as they say. So we had drive us back.
Get in the car.
Get in the car. Now at that point, we were dating. Officially on the books, we were a thing, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah. Because I love you.
And I love you back. So there was the issue, though, of space. I was in Mississippi at the time, and then as soon as I was done there, I was being stationed in Jacksonville, North Carolina. So I had a long way to go
Yeah.
from California, where we're from. So she would have to fly from San Diego out to North Carolina just to see me. So we did start our relationship at long distance.
Yeah.
And not to, spoilers, 10 years later we're
Here we
still
are.
married. So
Yeah.
it does work. It can work.
It can happen.
Let's see. Now, we had some struggles with the distance.
I think it was also the time. So, communication has gotten a lot better than it was 10 years ago. So, back when I was, talking to you on my BlackBerry, we couldn't FaceTime. We couldn't do things like that.
Skype was still so new.
And it
that
didn't
it
work really
didn't
well.
Work well, no.
Yeah. Our computers didn't have cameras. You had to buy an external webcam. And nobody did that. That was weird. So we just talked on the phone a lot. Every day at 6 o'clock, he would call me and I would shut my day down. And everybody I knew was surprisingly respectful of that.
That is
Because,
surprising.
yeah, because of the people I know.
Not in a bad way, but
Yeah.
in a we'll smother you with our love way.
Yeah. So I would talk to him for about an hour every day, because that was the time he got out of work and had dinner and was about winding his night down. And so I was just like, 6 o'clock, everybody fuck off. I'm gonna go away for an hour.
Was it 6 o'clock your time?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Okay, it was the end of my night. It was basically right before I went to bed.
Yeah, you had already had dinner and you were winding down.
Mm-hmm. And then we would talk for an hour or two, maybe,
Depending on
until
the day.
until I would start falling asleep. And it's like, okay, look, I got to get up at 4:30.
Yeah,
I'm in the Marines, and that's what we do.
'cause that's what you do.
Because that's what you do. And that went on for our entire relationship,
Right.
while we dated. Now she did come out to visit.
So
a
we
few
did do
times.
that. You
Yeah,
came home for Christmas.
I did. Yeah,
That's when I gave you your quilt.
that was very sweet. And I gave
Yeah.
you That's when I
Oh,
first
the
to-
ornament.
yeah, that's when I first told you I loved you.
My mom's face. Because I was in the kitchen on the phone with you one time and said, "Okay, I love you, bye." And my mom just kind of like, "Oh, that's where we're at now." Yes.
Well, so it sounds a little cliche, but we did have this kind of connection that happened right away. And
Yeah.
it went all the way back to when we reconnected at 15, and we were at downtown Disney in matching camo cargo shorts. Not planned, just
Because you're an idiot who doesn't know how to change his pants. I had packed clothes and I couldn't change. This was his house. He could have changed.
I thought you looked good.
We still accidentally match all the time. This isn't even the worst. Like, this is the good day for us.
This is coordination. This isn't matching.
Yeah. We match a lot worse.
I'll come out of the closet like, okay, I'm wearing my shirt, and she'll be like, I'm wearing the same red shirt.
Careful, sugar.
Damn it,
Old
red-
Navy. Old Navy needs some new colors.
For sure. So we were at downtown Disney when we were like 15,
Yeah.
and we saw, I don't even know what it was.
It was someone in a ridiculous outfit. And we saw somebody in a ridiculous outfit, and we just looked at each other like,
and started laughing, and it was kind of like, oh,
oh my god, I didn't have to explain my joke to you.
you totally get me. And we kind of just clicked, and it was very easy for us to be together.
Yeah.
So so we had that going for us, that, you know, we didn't, it all seems a little rushed
Yeah.
when you actually lay out the timeline. It was like November we started dating.
and
and
then
the
the next
following
July,
May-
we were married.
Yeah, the following May I proposed to you, and the following July we were married, and then we're still married 10 years later. So it's
We
not
were
like,
engaged for like 6 weeks.
it was a very quick,
We'll get to that.
Ordeal.
We'll get to that.
but we did have this long period of getting to know each other.
Let's see, we saw each other, I think I did the math, like every 3 months.
Yeah,
One of us flew out there because we didn't date for very long.
no.
I flew out to see you a few times, and then you flew out here twice. And, yeah, the last time was when I had to stay in the barracks. That was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, let me tell you what's not recommended. Being a girlfriend in the barracks.
That can be a bit of a challenge, for sure.
Mostly because men are disgusting.
For sure.
Unattended men are really disgusting.
Especially in the barracks. There is no
You're
hope.
fucking animals.
There is no hope. There's
They were
despair.
like, your friends didn't know how to handle it. Like, there's a woman up here. What do we do? Can we come in? Yeah, you know, and you had female Marines living in your building. Like, on the first floor was all the female Marines. So it's not like apparently it was just me.
Yeah, it wasn't that you were a woman, it's that you were a woman who wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But everyone was cool enough to,
Not say anything.
yeah. Here, you throw one way, I'll throw the other.
Lives
He's got a bonus package.
I got a bonus package. Okay.
And go. Well, let that play out for a minute.
Yeah, I'll let that handle itself. I think it will actually. Shit.
I threw a couple more.
So,
I think there's like one guy left.
wait, where is he? Oh god, I punched him dead and Iridian came out. Yes!
Boom.
Save me.
You're cheater. Yeah. Get out of your drunken stupor by going on fucking.
Go stand in front of this dude. Yeah.
No, don't shoot me, guy. Don't shoot me.
That's the only way to get out of the fucking wiggly screen.
Wiggly screen.
I've got you.
The shotgun works really well.
Your Carissa Cloud worked really well.
Oh, that guy. So,
So we did get to see each other.
yeah.
But there were long periods of time where we didn't get to see each other. So we did have to do the long distance relationship game. You had to fly out, I had to fly out, and so it was back and forth. We were just kind of rushing through this.
Yeah.
But it was a lot more involved in this, but eventually one time you came out and it was like, you missed your flight, you had to stay in the barracks, and we were like, if you just lived out here, we would never have to do this.
Healing
Yeah.
hypo.
So we kind of just went,
Oh, okay.
so I don't hate you,
Right?
you don't piss me off.
So it's something that's kind of hard to explain. But there's this culture in the military of getting married quickly so that you don't have to live in the barracks and you get benefits because they pay you more when you have a family. So you get paid to live out in town, so they give you enough money to pay rent. They pay you extra so that you can afford to support your spouse and your children, you know?
Yeah.
So there is sort of like a really rushed sense that people are trying to get married quickly because they want to live out in town because the barracks are awful.
Well, for us, it wasn't like that. We didn't, that was definitely a perk, but we did just want to stop this. You know, it was getting so expensive to fly out,
Yeah.
and on her end and my end, we had different challenges because while the separation was hard, you did have your family to lean on, and I was in North Carolina alone. I didn't have any family with me.
Yeah, the family is not talking to us anymore.
Yeah.
My family's talking to us. His isn't.
Yeah.
It's complicated. But that's not the story we're telling today.
So I was kind of all alone. So it did, it was like I just wish I had someone to be with. And so, we were madly in love, and so it all kind of worked out. And then we got married and had our military marriage. So
Let's say we put an end
in
on
the
this
end,
plan fat.
it all worked out.
You know,
Birds and hoducks are raring for a fine
trying to think.
showdown.
The
Get out there before the fighting starts. You don't want to
our wedding was difficult to plan, mostly because he wasn't here. I called my mom. I went out to visit him, and he proposed. So I went, oh my god, it was so cute. It was so cute. He had this big, extravagant thing planned. He was going to go to the beach at sunrise, and he was going to propose to me.
Because it's on the East Coast, so it's sunrise. It's not
that's so
sunset.
weird.
It's a unique thing for a California girl to see a sunrise instead of
Right.
a sunset over the water.
So we, we get there. We're staying out in Wilmington, which is not how it's pronounced, but that's how I keep saying it.
Wilmington.
Yeah, but that's how you pronounce it in North Carolina. So the night before I fly out, he has a dream that he takes me to the beach and loses the engagement ring in the sand, and we don't get married.
So, panic. Oh, you're having panic stress dreams? I was trying to propose. I had a wedding ring, the engagement ring bit.
So
it
I
was the
just
whole
gotten
nine.
there, and I, basically stole my suitcase in my hand, and he's just gotten super fucking weird. Like, what's going on, man? You we shooting this side? So basically I forgot what I was doing in the middle of it. Yeah, so you proposed to me in the Motel 6 in Wilmington.
Just unceremoniously.
Yeah. Oh my god, he did something so romantic. I think it's romantic, though, because I think that story is really sweet, that you had this dream and you thought we couldn't get married. Oh, fuck yeah! That's what I'm here for, motherfuckers!
You slag, I kill, that's it.
Yes!
Plus, if you slag someone with your corrosive cloud, they're gonna die.
It's over.
It's over. You're gonna raid bosses and nothing.
Yes.
So yes, I had a sweet proposal.
I thought it was very sweet.
But, then we had to try and plan a wedding
Yeah.
3,000 miles apart,
Which is difficult.
to say
Oh, I love that.
something.
Hell yeah. I think the most difficult part is dealing with family. So you don't have the other person there to help diffuse conflict. So that was tough.
That was, in a word, frustrating.
That was frustrating.
But,
We did have our wedding. We got married by the beach, and everything was beautiful, and it was exactly the wedding I wanted it to be.
July 5th.
I know, it's coming up.
It is, holy shit.
Dude.
This is gonna keep just astounding me. And, in a good note, it doesn't feel like it's been 10 years.
Right?
But on another note, it feels like it's been forever. Like we've just never not been married.
Right? So, I think, let's see. So, we had our beautiful wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And then he flew out the day after our wedding at 6 in the morning. I flew out the next day.
Oh, because the best part about this is I wasn't supposed to be in California.
Oh my god, that was so great.
So there is, I didn't have enough leave saved up for the entire trip. So because it was over 4th of July, I had what we called the 96. It's just a 4-day weekend, 96
Right.
hours.
Right?
Right on point there. Kind of does what it says on the tin. So because of that, I did have time to do it. Now, I tried to go about this all legit and everything.
Right? Put in
Put in
special
for-
leave or whatever.
Special liberty.
Yeah.
And I was denied. And I was told by my staff sergeant, you can't do, for the orders, you can't do special liberty in conjunction with the 96.
Right?
So I was like, I already have a fucking wedding. It is scheduled. It
It
is
is
gonna
planned.
happen.
I was getting this phone call, just like, what is gonna happen? I already have put money into this. I have a dress, so everything is rented. Like, you're gonna be here for this, right? Yes, I will be here.
I will make something happen. So
Okay.
I did, in fact, make something happen because my staff sergeant then told me, he said, look, I'm telling you right now, you are not allowed to do this. I am telling you, you can't do this. If you decide to go do something else, that's on you,
Right.
but I told you no. If
anyone
If-
asks.
If you were to come back with a marriage license from California, I mean, it would be whatever.
Yeah.
But I told you you can't do this. I have explained to you the law. And I said, okay, in that case, I'm going to Georgia with Saxon. And he said,
Yeah.
cool, we'll see you on Monday or Tuesday when you get back. Sweet. Problem is now, I was on a tight time schedule.
Yeah, so that was a bummer. So for whatever reason, we couldn't get flights on the same day, and which I would have loved. I would have liked to have been able to fly out to our new home with you, and I was very disappointed not to. But I was not in charge of this because I was 19. No, I was 20 because I
20.
was
We were 20.
fucking 20. Worth noting, nobody carded us at the wedding. They just assumed we were 21.
I was in my blues. We were getting
Yeah.
married. I think everyone was just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I
nobody
spotted
gives a
help.
fuck.
Everyone kind of tends to be a little looser with things like that for military members,
Yeah,
which
they just sort of don't ask.
I kind of think is fine, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But that's another episode.
that's another show.
That's another show. So yeah, we got to have fun at our wedding, and then I had to fly out at 6 the next morning. My
Yeah.
flight was at 6,
Yeah.
and I got a call that morning from my sergeant, like, "Hey, you on your way back?" I said, "Yeah,
From Georgia.
I'm driving back from Georgia right now.
Yeah.
I will be there, tonight at 10 o'clock." Because the worst part of it was my flight got in at 11,
Right.
but Liberty technically ended at 10. So I would have been gone an hour too long. A fucking hour.
And that's how tight shit runs in the military.
Indeed.
So that's something that's very difficult to get used to. That I think that may have been one of the biggest challenges for me. Is that you have no control in this relationship. Is that, oh, new run skin. You're used to having certain choices available to you in your regular life. But, not when you're dating someone in the military. All decisions are made for you. You are just a passenger. You want to be with this person, it's when they say you can be. And, it doesn't really ease up all that much after you get married.
No.
They are really respectful of you being married. I will say that. Because one of the reasons that we got married so fast is you were scheduled to have surgery. And,
That is right.
yeah, you were scheduled to have a surgery. And I wanted him to be able to be in our house, recovering. I didn't want him to be in a hotel room. Like, oh, I'll fly out and you can just stay with me. No, recovering from surgery in a hotel room, that sucks.
Plus, it's a long recovery, and how long are we going to pay for
Yeah.
a hotel room?
We paid for a wedding instead.
Which I thought was nice.
It was nice.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Are you opening the door?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. I have to say, when we were in the Naval Hospital, it went from when you're a girlfriend of a military member. You know, if you're just dating, they were sort of like, yeah, whatever, go wait over there. We'll tell you when you can. But as soon as I walked up to the counter, I was like, oh, hi, I'm looking for what room my husband is in. They're like, oh, right this way, ma'am. We'll show you where he is. The entire tone changed. It was nuts.
It's John Mulaney made a joke about that.
Yes.
That's my wife.
That's my wife.
It's some much more power to it.
It
Like,
is,
can my
and-
girlfriend come?
Well, you know, and in the military, that has a lot of weight. So there, you know, that is one of the reasons why people push and get married.
Because until then,
You're nothing. You are nothing to them. Like, we don't care that you're in love. We don't care how long you've been together or how much you've known each other.
if it's not legal on paper, you don't have the
Sniper
marriage
rifle.
right. Kind of sniper rifle. Okay. I'm
Boo.
still carrying around a legendary.
Boo.
Let's do this while we're here.
Right. So, that is different to get used to. Oh my god, that I just remembered one of my favorite stories about I think the time before we got engaged, or it might have been right when we got engaged. That for your mandatory fun day.
Yeah, it was it was right before we got engaged.
Yeah. You did introduce me as your fiance.
It was easier. We kind of already had.
Yeah, we were heading in that direction.
It may have been right after I proposed to you,
Yeah, actually.
because it was in the summer.
So, it was kind of the first time that I had been on base and I had met anybody. Until then, we had just stayed out in town or at a friend's house. So, stand around, talk to you and your friends, and then, you know, the guy my mom's age walks up in little khaki shorts with a tucked-in polo. He's like, oh, this is my fiance, and you know, he's saying,
Hey.
hi, I'm Scott. It's so great that families were able to come out and spend the day with us. I love seeing families out here. Oh, well, it's really nice to be here with everyone. And meanwhile, everyone behind me had just gotten like, like, what? Why? Why do you all have a crazy look on your face right now?
So you just met Scott, who we all know as Lieutenant Colonel Hallstrom, our CO of our squadron.
Oh, Scott.
Scott? Oh, Scott? Yeah, Scott. Hey, Scott. Yeah, very, very unnerving for us. We were still, very low in the totem pole, where I remained.
Again, another show.
Another show. Yeah.
Hey, runner skin I don't have. Cool. I gotta throw something down for it though.
Excuse me. Burrito. Sorry, not
Sorry,
my burrito.
sorry, burrito.
So we did have a lot of fun doing the whole, getting married thing, and then once we were married, everything changed. It was no longer a long distance relationship. It was just a relationship.
Yeah,
And
that's how it works.
it got better. Our relationship got easier for us, between us. There were much different challenges that we faced, but
Yeah.
none of them were, of.
But we were together, and that's really what mattered.
We were together, and I forget the rest.
Yeah,
The
you
rest
know.
isn't important to me.
And that's pretty much how I felt about it. Was that I knew it was gonna be hard. I was gonna be away from my family. I had never been away before. I'm the only child of a widowed parent, so being away from my mom was going to be very difficult. And, her opinion was like, no, you need to go do this. Because she remembered being married to my dad. And I'm like, no, this is such a special time. You guys really need to be together.
And it was very
It was
helpful.
very special.
So we had the long distance relationship, and we survived. How does everyone else
That's that.
survive a long distance relationship? Because that's ultimately what this comes down to. Is this episode was a special request by
Yeah.
not to dime anyone out, but
Yeah.
my brother and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
He, if you caught previous episode of The Married Guide to Gaming, he had just gotten out of boot camp, and so we had him over, her as well. We did a little bit of an interview with him, had a lot of fun.
Right? That was cute.
And then a week later, He was gone,
Because
and he had to
that's
go
it.
because hey, your time's up. And guess what? Fort Riley, Kansas.
That sucks so bad.
It's almost like a geographical actual center of the country. It's like west of Topeka, north of Wichita. It's like you don't even get them. You're far enough away.
It would be like living in Temecula versus San Diego.
Except for back when Temecula was empty.
Yeah, Temecula when I went to high school, back when it was just a mall and, like, churches. None of those things I like, personally.
Well, so, he is getting stationed somewhere that is
Away from home, it's different.
far away from home.
Yeah.
Now, he has a bit of an advantage, the two of them do, I should say, in that they were together when he went to boot camp.
Bounce
Yeah.
and healing.
We were not.
We were not.
So when we started dating,
You were already in. You were
I was already
solidly
in. And we started on the long distance front, they got to start and establish a relationship,
But
which
we
I
had
think
been
is very
friends.
important.
We had been friends, so at least we had that going for us.
Oh yeah, no, it was not a matter of it not working, but
we used to have this as a prepared speech because there were so many people who were like, oh, I met this local girl and we've been dating for 3 weeks and we're gonna get married. Okay, hold up, honey.
let's pump the brakes, killer.
Yeah, let me tell you why that's a bad idea. Well, you married your wife fast. Wait. You don't have all the information.
My Gunny Bino,
Yeah, the one who was getting divorced. It was funny.
he was getting divorced.
It wasn't funny, but his opinion on it was funny.
Because he used to tell everyone not to
Don't
not
ever get married. Yeah.
Don't ever get married, and they would be like, well, "What about Townsend?" They say, "Oh, well, he doesn't count. He won the marriage lottery." And so that's basically what we were. We were the marriage lottery.
Yeah.
It was we had a very fortunate, happy relationship. With
Well,
no major issues.
statistically, most military marriages fail.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
but
and then it's very sad. But it's like it sucks. It's really hard to be married to someone in the military. And I think it's the lack of you don't get to make any choices in your life. You are at their whim.
it does feel a little helpless at times.
Yeah.
And
Because, when are you getting deployed? You guys might be deploying, next. When is next? Like 6
They
months
don't-
to a year.
Yeah, they don't tell
Okay,
you
how do I
until it
prepare for
happens.
that?
Yeah, they don't tell you until it happens.
We'll tell you when we know. Well, do I need to start packing? What about my dogs? Where am I gonna go? Like, do I need to tell my mom? Like, what is happening? There's so many unknowns.
Catcher.
'Cause I sure as fuck wasn't gonna stay in North Carolina alone. I was gonna go home. I was just gonna pack up my dogs and go home.
Yeah.
And live under my mom's coffee table until you got back. I had it all planned out.
Fortunately, I never had to deploy. Unfortunately, because I had a second surgery.
I did, I was talking to a veteran in one of my classes about this, and he had a really interesting perspective on
I've spotted
you not being able to deploy. When I was telling him the story, his immediate answer was, "Oh, that sucks so bad. It's like being benched for the Super Bowl. You spend all your time training for this thing, and then everybody goes without you." Like, that was really well put.
So that'll be another episode.
That's a different show, but for me it was fortunate because I never had to do that.
But those are the challenges of being in a relationship.
But we
in
didn't
the
know
military.
that. We still spent a long time going like, this is a reality. I'm gonna have to deal with the deployment. Because that's a thing. That's a reality you have to face. And deployments are a different show. We'll talk about that later.
But so we did getting married in the military, dating in the military. It's all it can all be a bit tough.
Yeah.
And so what I would like to remind everyone though is it can still work. It is still
I know.
a
We have
possibility.
2 other couples that we know who are still married. And it was because they had really strong relationships and they had really healthy foundations. And, you know, one of them was dual military, so that's kind of different. And then they were kind of like us. They knew each other for a really long time. They got married as soon as they legally could, I think. I don't know if, maybe a parent signed off or something.
17 or 18.
Yeah, they got married
Healing hypo.
super young.
But, they were together for a long
Help
time.
here.
They
Yeah.
had already experienced, a lot. Their families were very
They were good
unique.
with it.
Yeah. I mean, they
They were very supportive of this.
they
Like him
jived.
joining the
They
military
jived.
and all
So
this kind of stuff.
They got married right before he went to boot camp.
Yeah.
And kind of, you're not going to go to boot camp with a fiance.
Yeah, because if you're the wife, you get special things. Like, I cannot remember what, what she said it was, but like a charity basically paid for her to go out to his graduation because
Yeah.
she couldn't afford to go, and they, were raising money to make sure that people's spouses could be there.
That's really super important.
Yeah. They pay for her hotel and her plane ticket.
And now I lost track of my thought.
We
Sorry.
got married. We weren't dating. When you went to boot
yeah,
camp.
So we were talking about Mike and
must have hurt.
Manuela,
Yeah.
who are just
So it goes.
adorable together. They really are. And it has been a concern is when he was in boot camp, it was kind of this: I've got the paper chain on the wall, metaphorically speaking.
Well, like you did have a
I
paper chain.
had a paper chain on my wall when I was getting out, but that was because of other reasons that'll be in another episode. The theme of the day is that's another episode.
I've spotted
Right.
help.
But it was this kind of idea and this mentality that
He'll be home at this day.
2 weeks left, 1 week left,
But now it's
3 days
open-ended.
left.
This is indefinite.
He's there for the rest of his enlistment, which
Yeah.
could be. I don't even know how long he's enlisted for.
Is it
4.
5
I think
years?
he enlisted for 4.
Okay.
So it could be for.
You were in for 5.
Yeah.
That's why we don't know.
I had a year of schooling that I had to go to, so it was a little different. But he's gonna be there his entire enlistment, and so he may be able to move. He may be able to transfer duty stations or even transfer MOSs and stuff. But it's all very open-ended.
Yeah.
So
Then there's no guarantee that you're going to end up where you want if you transfer. You just, say, I'd like to be somewhere else, and they say, like, cool.
Now it's Alaska.
Yeah, would you like to be in North Carolina? No. Can I get the next one?
Nope.
Florida? No. This is going further away.
Now, so it can be very difficult to have this now what? Because he had something that was working, and now it's basically turned on its head.
Yeah.
And it's important to know that yes, he can make it,
Communication
But-
really is the most important thing.
but it's going to take a lot of work. And
Now you will fall.
Shut all fucked up.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be having this important discussion while we're getting fucked up in here.
so there are a few. We have kind of put together a few tips, if you will, ways that you can make it a little easier on your relationship, and kind of give you a little bit of hope that it can work. So, rule number one is communication. You have to be talking.
Yeah. Open, honest communication is the foundation to any relationship.
Yeah, not just like talking, but meaningful talking.
Yeah, no-
You have to actually communicate.
Not what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we're chatting. Yeah, we talk. I talk.
Yeah.
I don't talk about things, but I talk.
Yeah.
So it is important to be able to be open and honest with each other, because you are going to be going through a lot, and you're going to have a lot of different feelings about it because, you know, you may feel alone when you're out there. You may feel abandoned when you're not. You know, the military life is one specifically that's tough because, hey, I know I said I was going to call you at 5, but they kept me at work until 10 tonight, and I didn't have access to my phone anymore.
Yeah, and, you know, you basically just know, like, well, I guess I'll hear from you at some point.
So it can be a bit tough, but as long as you're open and honest and
You
true
gotta
about
be
your
there.
feelings.
You have to be knowing what that's like.
So,
That's a
who's next?
I'm sorry. But,
so that
fucking had something I was going to say. God
something
damn it.
poignant probably.
I had something
right?
poignant I was going to say about this.
Instead, we'll we'll move on to another tip,
Okay.
and we'll circle back when you
Sure.
find it. You'll find it. It's important to you know, do little small things for each other too.
Yeah.
I used to you know, because back in my day we
Back in the
didn't
day.
have FaceTime or shit like that, but we did have camera phones, and so I would send pictures. all the
Yeah, I
time.
still have all these random pictures of you out in the smoke pit. It's like, hey, this is where I am right now.
And
I'd send you selfies from my car, you know, stupid shit.
I had a picture with a frog that we found.
Yeah.
He was our smoking buddy. So basically, you kind of do little small things. It's almost like things you would do if you were together in person.
Yeah.
Hey, this thing is funny. I would normally laugh about it with you. Instead, I'm gonna snap a picture and we'll laugh about it later.
But see, now you can do things like that.
Now I'll just call and say, "Hey, turn on your camera." You turn on your camera and be like, "Look at this
funny
shit."
thing. Is the oldest thing we've ever done.
But that is a, you know,
You kids don't even know how good you have it. Yeah, I sound like my grandma.
but that is, you know, a pro to doing this now in this
Yeah.
day and age is that
Well,
communication on
even
its
just
own.
a few years later, well, not necessarily a few, my cousin was in a long distance relationship with her now husband. He was living in London, which, 12 hours is a hell of a time change. So that's really hard to keep in touch with someone. But they made it work for a year while he sorted out his citizenship so they could get married.
So, it's more examples of it working.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, there are examples of it not.
there's a lot. Unfortunately, you get a lot of people who, think that if you're not with someone, you can trust them. I never had those problems with you. I could recall that you went to a strip club with some friends. Like, okay, you know my rules. I've got rules about this. Like, no, it's lame. I don't even want to go. Okay, there you go. I'd rather sit here on the phone with you for 3 hours. Which, go have fun with your friends. It's okay, you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, trust is another really big component of it. Is you have to trust that.
Right.
You have to trust that your significant other is going to be faithful and, loves you as much as you love them because,
That's the issue people have with that.
and, ultimately at the end of the day, it's your love is what's keeping you together over long distance because if you don't love each other, you don't do it.
Yeah.
If you almost find out during a long distance relationship.
It's a sort of the express route to
Do I
whether
love
or
this
not this
person?
has longevity.
Yeah. Do I feel like I can actually stay with you for, a really long time, even the rest of my life?
I think in a lot of ways it's because you don't have that physical connection sort of muddying up your feelings.
Yeah, you're not having sex all the time.
Yeah.
You're not,
So you're only connecting intellectually and emotionally.
yeah. So that's kind of all you get, and it is a good way to determine,
Yeah.
is this gonna last? And
Right.
look at him go.
I was gonna say,
Look at him go, look at him go.
what is happening?
Oh,
Oh
God.
God.
Oh jeez. Oh god. Okay. Hey, he's dead. He's dead. He's already dead.
I'm like way full of one shit right now. Except for bullets. I'm not doing that. Honestly, now we'd be doing this, but just, you know.
There's so much more
Yeah.
now than even, 5 years ago or even the 10 years ago when we first got married or we were dating.
Oh,
that-
back when you had to stream from Netflix using a disc in your Wii. Yeah, let that fucking sink in.
We're just gonna keep playing this old game
Yeah.
all night long. But no, there is so much now that helps stay connected and not just, talking on the phone. You can play games together. You can Skype really easily or FaceTime.
You just
you can
FaceTime. You
FaceTime
fucking
on the
from your
fly.
phone.
Yeah, you do it on the fly. Well, if
Yeah.
we're gonna have an evening together,
Yeah, I would put you on a
gotta-
computer,
Yeah,
yeah.
we bought a webcam for this.
Yes.
You can see me a lot more clearly than I could on your phone, and with a lot more reliability in the connection.
Right?
Let's see.
Who's next? Because I definitely don't want to go to the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve. Oh god, it's the Caustic Caverns.
Let's go turn it.
Okay.
So there are very good ways to stay connected, and staying connected is really important. But you're trying to figure out, your feelings for this person because it
No.
does get hard. It does get stressful because of that separation, and that's what you don't want. This is what I love to do. is this right here? And when you can't, it starts to hurt.
Well, I think in a lot of ways, this sort of experience that we had with you being in the military and stuff, I think that's one of the reasons that I call and text you all day, basically.
Yeah.
Because I can. I went for so many years where I couldn't talk to him. Where he was gone all day. He was gone for 12 hours and I could not contact him. If I was calling him, it had to be a fucking emergency. And we did have an emergency one time and it took him 45 minutes to get home for it.
Oh, patience, yeah.
Yeah, our neighbor got bit by her dog. Her dogs were fighting. She got in the middle of it. Don't do that.
Not
But-
smart.
Yeah, it's not smart.
That wasn't so difficult.
But what happened was I was having a panic attack because of it, and he was 45 minutes out. So, that's another
And I
shot.
still had to fight to get out of the shop. I still
Yeah.
had to say, like, no, you don't get it. This is an actual emergency. Fucking write me up later then. I'm out.
Yeah.
But I still had to, go through the same old song and dance to try and get what I needed because in the end, I was military. If you're
Yeah.
a Marine, that's what you do.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Army, you do have restrictions on what you can and can't do, and it can
Yeah.
be a bit of a strain on your communication, even, especially during the day. You and I, we'll chat during the day. I'll call you if I think of something funny. I'll be like,
Right.
oh, I stepped out for real quick to tell you this really funny thing. But you don't really have that luxury when you're in the military. So you
Yeah.
will kind of have these days where it's like, we went all day without talking. But now texting and phones are a lot more prevalent
Yeah.
and much more expected to be used even.
Yeah.
So being able to kind of like just, hey, I'm a text on the fly real quick,
That's the thing.
that's a lot easier now than it was
10 years ago on my BlackBerry.
when you had to type it.
Yeah.
Although, some people do miss that.
I
know.
miss my keyboard.
I even think Manuela said that she misses hers too. So,
Right?
you're relax. You're among friends.
I'm gonna go buy more bullets for this thing.
So, a bit of advice though on the whole, staying in a long distance relationship. At some point, you do want it to end. And so,
Yeah.
when do you end it?
So that's
Not the
when-
relationship, but when
no.
do you end the distance?
Yeah, so you're looking at, I think the long distance relationship, especially in the military wise, it kind of forces your hand on, are you going to get married? You have that conversation way sooner than most civilians would. Because, oh, you're in college and you're dating and you're both going to school school and
Kind of
doing your
expect a
things.
year, 2 years of dating.
Yeah, and then you'd be engaged for another year. So we were engaged for 6 weeks. Get this show on the road, motherfucker.
Always
Why?
winning you iridium.
Seriously.
I have no room for guts.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna sell crap. Uh, so it definitely forces your hand on whether or not you guys are gonna move forward with getting married, which, you know, that's a very serious conversation that you need to have, and it's something that needs to be considered, you know, really well before moving forward. I've seen a lot of people jump into marriages and just to have them fail.
Pretty quickly, too.
Yeah,
It's not to say that, you know,
all marriages in the military fail.
but, you know, it is an unfortunate truth that you are kind of always just a statistic waiting to happen. Even as a veteran, I'm always
Yeah.
a statistic waiting to happen. Just another veteran did blank in the box.
Right.
So it is. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. So it's important to know kind of what you want to do, and not just what, but when.
Yeah.
And how long. You know, it's kind of up to you, and it's.
Wait, I gotta find a vending machine.
Oh yeah, maybe I have enough iridium to buy a thing.
Yes.
No, maybe.
So, you know, we dated for like 8 months. We were engaged for 6 weeks. Threw together a wedding. And then, you know, the day after my wedding, I flew to North Carolina with 2 suitcases full of like everything I could carry to an empty apartment. You know, he had rented the apartment. He had borrowed an air mattress and found a coffee table by the dumpster.
It was clean.
It was, you guys Clorox wiped it, I'll give you that.
And we had a couple camp chairs,
We went to Walmart and we bought those that night because we had nowhere to sit.
but
I think we did that. We bought a TV. We just like, because it was dark, there was nothing in the house.
you were there
Yeah, but we were together, and that was, you know, that's what mattered.
to us. That's what mattered to us.
I,
Everyone, you know, results may vary, but
Results may vary. You know, I do think about often that I dropped out of school to marry him because, you know, I don't have a bachelor's degree. I figured I'd go back someday. And going back to school really sucks. It's really hard. I tried before I decided that I wanted to get my book published. I tried to go back to school, and I knew it was over the day I was not taking notes, but instead writing out a grocery list. It was over.
game over, man.
It was over.
Too much else on your mind.
Yeah.
For for us at least. So there
Not saying
are.
you can't go back to school. My mom did it. She's, you know,
Hey,
got 4 degrees after she was 40.
more power to you at
Yeah.
that point. But that is not to say. That is to say that before you decide you're going to take a big jump like that, you need to consider all of the factors that
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with moving your life out there?
Yeah.
It's a huge step, and you need to be really sure.
It's very isolating, and it's you know, the culture of the military is isolating. I know everyone wants to talk about that. It's such a great sense of community in there, but I never had any friends because military wives are very cliquey. So everything you hated about high school, they're still doing that.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
take your own turn. I was gonna go farm for the fastball. Oh, let's go farm for the fastball.
We'll do that real quick. So, I found it very difficult to make friends. I was like the old lady out there because, you know, I had been to college. I had, you know, a driver's license. And none of them really knew how to
You were
relate to
20.
that. I was 20. I waited to get married. I waited to have kids. Yeah.
Stop struggling.
Bam!
I ain't here to fuck around.
You hold them. You hold them down. I'll shoot.
We're very efficient. But, you know, being away from your family is very difficult. You know, just out in the front, I'm just not very good at making friends. Yeah. Introverts have to wait to be adopted by an extrovert. That's how we make friends.
The sanctuary. Follow the road.
I'm going with them.
Follow your
going.
nose. And even on my end, you get friends. You do
Y'all are
work
stuck
really-
together.
Yeah, you're stuck
Yeah.
together, and you kind of. It's bonding over mutual hatred. That is something that happens all the time in the military.
Yeah.
And there was one thing I never really quite connected with everyone on, and that was I didn't have a nagging, bitching wife, and everyone seemed to hate their marriage on some level. Oh my god, I got to do this, or oh my god, she's nagging to do this, and I was like,
Really? You guys have not been married? You guys have not even been married for a year. How are y'all fighting this much?
and besides, like, you got married because you love each other.
Yeah.
Well, you'd think.
Yeah,
And
you'd
not
think.
everyone does, because there, are more things that are considered by people getting married in the military.
Yeah, a lot of people are trying to like work the system. They're trying to do it for money. You never get married for money.
I love my powers.
We ran into this too. Is people who are trying to work the system to like make money on it. That really bothered me. That got me into an apartment that was sketchy as shit. Oh, it's only like $500 to live here. Yeah, because it's like a really sketchy neighborhood with gangs in it.
Pretty cool.
For real, there was a gang-style execution in our apartment complex.
Ride or die.
So Nick came home early. He came home from the rifle range, and I was like, "Guess what? We're moving."
Okay. Yeah, and that was it. And then we found somewhere else.
I love my powers.
I have to say that I really did, on some level, enjoy living somewhere other than California. It was a really unique experience to just see how different other places in the U.S. are. Living in the South, I was from California. It was a completely different environment.
Talk about culture shock.
Yeah. One of the funniest things was that I couldn't hardly understand anybody. I couldn't understand anybody's accent.
You have a hard enough time.
I have a processing disorder, so I have trouble hearing things. But, how many times I'd be in a grocery store and, the lady at the register would say something and I would just sort of smile and nod. Yeah, you're right. Please don't ask me a question.
Or don't wait for a response. For sure.
Oh, shit. What am I doing?
Oh, hey, we're playing on normal mode. Actually, we did just kind of start these characters. So this is our first playthrough of this combination. It's one of our favorites. We call it our original duo. When we first played Borderlands 2 back in the day, when we had it on the Xbox 360. We're on the Xbox One right now, but when we had it on the 360, this was, I always kind of resort to type. I like being stealthy, sneaky archer, so being a sniper was one thing that I always loved. So I always go for it.
Right.
And then the Siren kind of is unbeatable, so this was our
That's
original
love,
duo.
man.
Yeah, it's always the Zero Maya combo. That's where we kind of live. So we figured for our streaming purposes here, we would do kind of what we kind of feel most comfortable with.
Right.
It's a little easier to play and talk at this point. So, sorry to interrupt you. We get a bit of a question. So, we were talking about kind of
Oh, living somewhere else is a really unique experience.
kind of being alone, but it's it's exciting. It is. It's new. It's also new. Everything
Yeah.
is so new when you're young and you're married
You're
and
fresh-faced,
or
yeah.
it's all so new. But it
It's being married to someone in the military is very challenging. So, I don't know, man. I would do it again, honestly. If I was gonna,
I wouldn't.
you would enjoy the
No,
military.
yeah. No, I
Good.
would. I would totally do it again because, it had its ups and downs. It was pretty rough for me just in just did my day to day.
Yeah, your military experience was not like other people's. That was one of the reasons why I pushed to marry you, because, you know, you were having a rough go at it. And, you know, I wanted to be there for you. I kind of, like, I did everything that I could to help you through this thing, you know? You weren't able to deploy, and a lot of people were, like, super resentful of you for that.
Yeah, some people were like, oh, you're so lucky. Other people were like, ah, you're copping out.
Yeah, there was a lot of really mixed reviews on it.
Mixed reviews, for sure. 2 out of 10 would not recommend.
Yeah. God, you have a badass barkeep?
Hey, I got it. It's fine. Piss off. Piss off, ghost. Yeah.
But yeah, so I did really, like, I tried to do everything that I could while I was out there to try and just get you through this. But you were not sure if you wanted to re-enlist, but once you had your second surgery, you kind of came to the god. It was my personal mission to just get you out of there in one piece.
Survival at that point.
Yeah.
Current objective, survive.
Basically. Because, that was when they started, oh my god, what was the...
BCP.
Yeah, that
It's
bitch.
a body composition program. It's horrible shit. It was rough.
It's a long story. It's a much longer
but
story than we have time for.
Yeah, essentially, they were trying to force me out administratively. I was trying to stay in so I could get an honorable discharge. It was a big constant fight, but I had emotional support the whole time, and that was really important.
Yeah.
And so that is one thing that being in that kind of military relationship is very, very, very crucial. Is being able to have someone to support you the whole time.
Yeah.
Because when you're out there, you can kind of feel alone. You can kind of feel, it all can get so shitty. That's
Yeah.
not to say there aren't good moments. I had a great time
Yeah.
for a lot of stuff. But
It was an experience.
it sure was.
Yeah, it was an experience to be sure. But, it was... I think it was really important for us, emotionally, like, growing up, basically. Because we were isolated, so we didn't have someone to call and help us with things. I talk to my mom every day, I think. But, I would call her up and be like, hey, how long do I cook a chicken? But,
Or, hey, how do I set up my cable?
yeah. But, a lot of things you just kind of have to fucking figure out.
Sink or swim, bitch.
Yeah. There's a lot of that with, I forgot where we were wandering.
You're done.
Don't worry, I can handle it.
Oh, hey, well, I threw a grenade over there just to hold on to that for a bit. Yes.
So,
Come on.
I'm just running.
Yeah. Go lizard tail. I'm fucked. Destination fucked. Help me,
My back on
Leela.
you. This is what happens when I turn my back on you. This is
Yeah.
our entire relationship.
Hey, keep me alive.
Basically, this is what I did. I always kind of made it like a thing where I would wear, Marine life clothes and be all that kind of stuff. And I thought it was weird because there's a lot of women who sort of trade their personal identity for a Marine wife identity. But I always felt like you deserved to have your own personal cheerleader following you around. Because what you're doing is hard. I still have all my sweatshirts and stuff I used to wear. I'm gonna make them into a quilt when I get around to it. I still haven't made our wedding scrapbook, so just know that.
Okay, I gotta follow your mini map. I gotta see that thing.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't know where
Where
I'm
are we going?
Stay still.
I fucking.
Jesus, this fucking Chrysalis.
Well, we're about to go fight a big one, so. Yeah, spoiler, we already know what's gonna happen in this game.
Yeah.
I say we fight blue, and then we call it a night.
Yeah.
It's been eventful. It's been a fun run because it's something I look back on fondly.
Yeah, our first apartment, oh my god, it was filled with cockroaches. It was so
It
gross.
was 600 square feet.
Yeah, that's just
and
the size
two-
of this room.
And 2 bedrooms.
Oh my god, it was so crazy.
So, totally normal.
Yeah. Living there, we got both of our dogs, we got our cat.
You just set off my trap card.
I got
So, the foundation to our life that we have now was set up in North Carolina. And, kind of that time away gave us separation from, our lives back here enough to create our own life. And that's been really important to us, together, basically, in our lives moving forward. We're super solid in our relationship because we have this solid foundation.
So, would I recommend it? Yes. If you are...
Would I recommend it? No. But would I recommend it? Yes.
Yes, but no.
Yes,
No, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's tough. Being married to someone in the military is tough, and there's no way around it. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done.
But being away from someone who's in the military when you're already in a relationship is also
That
very hard, and that
sucks.
sometimes is much harder.
Yeah.
So, when you have a long distance relationship ahead of you, and it's important to kind of keep the end result in mind.
Yeah.
Just know that at some point it will end. The military contract is a finite thing, so if,
Yeah.
Your military member does not like it, they get out.
Yeah.
Do your time, serve honorably, and then go. Check this out. We're gonna
You save and quit. Oh my
save
god,
and quit.
run. You're so
I'm not
smart.
gonna run all the way back. Fuck that. I'm gonna fight 3 more badass var kids and get killed by 2 chrysalisks.
He is so smart.
Or I just save and quit and jump back in and then fast travel. Done and done.
Right?
So, it does have its own window. It is short enough that it will end.
Yeah.
And, or they decide to re-enlist, but,
But that's a decision you guys will have to talk about when it comes up.
Yeah.
You know?
So as long as you guys maintain good communication and
Right.
steady contact, set up little, remote dates. Hey, we're both gonna do this at the same time. We're gonna
Right.
watch a movie together. In that, we'll
Because
try
I totally
and
would have
time
done
it.
that if that was a thing. Yeah, I would have totally done
if
that.
we had Netflix, I would, time like, okay, 3, 2, 1, start the movie. And then we can both watch the same movie at the same time. Or even, live stream something. Like, we're broadcasting right now. Mike, he's a little late because we broadcast at 8, and he's already in bed, I'm sure, because he's
should
tired
be.
of his new duty
He
station.
should
He
be.
should be, because it's going to be,
Because it sucks.
almost, it's
There's
11
no other
o'clock
way
out
around
there.
it.
And Manuela's got work right now, so what they can do is they can watch this will be posted up on YouTube, and they can watch it later.
Yeah.
And whenever we live stream, they can both watch at the same time, so you can still engage in activities
Thanks,
together,
I've
even
been
though you're
meaning to
remote.
upload these
And I think
to
that's
the Echo
really
Pad.
beautiful. Oh, baby, give it to me. Do me dirty.
So,
Oh, that's such a good version too.
that's something I would have done for sure. Is we'd be able to play games together and stuff, and we'd be able to, I don't know. It's doing small things. I think is really important. But
And being able to talk all the time. And then, if you have the ability to cost and with time and travel and stuff
yeah,
like that,
visiting is
to
really
be able
important.
to visit, because you do want to maintain that physical relationship too.
Yeah, I can have friends.
Bow chicka bow wow.
Boo, bitch.
Yeah. But, you know, it is important to still be able to see each other in person. And so
Right.
as long as you kind of mix in some of that with, you know, talking on the phone or, you know, video calls or, you know, doing stuff together that you can
Yeah.
figure out, it won't feel so bad. And at a certain point, you can decide, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's go ahead and move in together. Or I'm going to move out there.
Yeah.
That's a big step, and you need to be really solid on it.
Make sure you've done everything here that you need to do.
Because you got to be careful. If you move out and you're not really solid, you can kind of feel a bit resentful about it. And that
Yeah.
was one thing that happened with a lot of the wives.
Yeah.
Is that they felt like, you know, they
You're
uprooted their
trapped,
life
yeah.
and they moved out to North Carolina and they're trapped out there alone without their
Mhm.
family, and
Yeah.
you know, they feel resentful because then their husband kind of is just a jackass and doesn't care anyway, because some people are like that.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do something like that, you need to be really solid. And a lot of people are
Yeah. We are.
solid.
You're fucking ridiculous.
So I think that's all we have to say on the subject for now.
I could do this for 4 more hours. I have a lot of things to say on the subject because being a military wife is a very different experience than just being a regular newlywed. So,
yeah,
yeah.
And the long distance relationship part of it is manageable. At first it will seem tough, but you just kind of have to fall into a routine. And once you do, it can start to feel a little bit normal. And when you normalize it, it starts
Every
to
day
be
at
bearable.
6 o'clock.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd start establishing, hey, I will call you here, and
I
then we
still
get to
remember we were planning the wedding. We had my mom's cousin was the pastor for our wedding, and so him and his wife had come out and they were talking to us. He was so excited because he had never said a wedding before. But 6 o'clock came around. I got my call and I said, "Sorry, I'll be right back," and I was gone for 45 minutes. And he's ex-military, and so his wife was just like, "Oh, I remember those days." Yeah. Because now I'm that old going, "Oh, yeah, shut this shit down. We'll wait for you. It's okay."
Yeah. And you know, it's the same way too. Is if in a heartbeat, if I was with someone and they were in that kind of situation and they said, "Oh, this is my time to talk to someone.
Yeah.
This is my time to talk to my significant other," I'd be like, "Hey, I'm here. You go talk. You'll
Yeah.
see me afterwards."
I'll still be here in an hour.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Right?
I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, you're here. I can still see you. I saw you all day already.
Right?
So, you know, you do get that. And then down the road, you will, you know, 10 years later, get to do your own live stream while you're playing Borderlands and talk about your time when you had a long distance relationship. And you do get to kind of reminisce and think fondly on it because, you know, overall, the good definitely outweighed the bad.
Well, yeah, because I'm still here. If I was
And-
going to leave you, I'd have done it a long time ago.
Yeah, kill me when I was worth the insurance money.
I'm rather fond of you.
Me too. I'm rather fond of me too. So, I think we should call it.
We should.
All right. It's already been a little bit longer than we normally broadcast, so we appreciate you guys sticking around for it. Again, this was a special request for a little bit of advice on long-distance relationships. By no means are we qualified to give
Yeah,
it.
and I'm not.
We
It might
can-
be bad advice, but it's free. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nothing. So if you do have a special request, go ahead and let us know. You can also send us an email at themarriedguidetogaming@gmail.com. Leave comments in the YouTube video section, and or even message us on Twitch. And if you got something that you'd like us to talk about, we'll for sure put it up because we love to help. All right, so we're gonna call it tonight. Thanks for everyone for joining us on the Married Guide to Gaming.
Hope
I'm
this
Ben
was
Towney.
helpful.
This is my beautiful wife, Two Gun Rosebud. We hope it's been an educational and enlightening episode today. So, sticking around. We'll see you next time.